And Tarik Skubal will be on the mound for the Dodgers, and that he was last night. His very first at-bat as a Dodger pitcher, freezing Pete Crow Armstrong. PCA goes down. That's the first batter that Skubal would face. Top of 2 still scoreless. Kyle Tucker at the plate. Kyle Tucker in the seats. The former Cub giving the Dodgers a 1-0 lead. Bottom of 2. Let's watch a little bit of Skubal getting settled in. This is Michael Busch. No chance. Tyrone Taylor will change on the outside corner. Good start for Skubal. Bottom 3. Dodgers still leading at 1-0. Here comes Dansby Swanson, and there he goes. That one up in the zone, but he goes up and gets it to left center. Solo shot ties the game at 1. And then it gets interesting in the 6th. We're still tied at 1. Skubal facing Bregman with a man aboard. Bregman to right field. It might be, it could be, it isn't. But Tucker is going to misplay this badly off the wall. Bregman a stand-up double. 2 batters later, Nico Horner. Where does this go? Somehow this winds up dropping. Everybody's safe. Cubs a 2-1 lead. Skubal finishes 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, struck out 6. Bottom 8. Cubs up 4-1, make it 5-1 as Horner crushes that one. Skubal takes the loss in his Dodgers debut. So the Cubs with a statement win, 5-1 the final. Here was the Cy Young winner after the game.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to bed last night, excited. It felt like, my major league debut, kind of same type of vibe in terms of, the nerves running through. But I think that's all good stuff.
All right, so the Dodgers lose. Skubal has now gone 6 straight starts on the road, allowing 2 or fewer earned runs. That's the longest within a season of his career. So he is doing his job, and frankly, he threw pretty well last night. Only threw 85 pitches, tied for the 3rd fewest in any game this season. We have Jessica Mendoza and Jesse Rogers, both of whom were there at Wrigley Field last night. Jesse, you've covered the Cubs for 30-something years at this point, and you were saying, and Skubal was saying, this was like a playoff atmosphere last night on the north side.
Yeah, I know we throw that phrase around a lot, but he's only pitched in the postseason on the road, and he felt like that was what we saw last night, that kind of atmosphere. It's one of those games where as soon as the starting pitcher, puts his head out of the dugout, fans are all over him. That usually doesn't happen during the regular season. A lot of boos every time he took the mound, every time he warmed up, whatever it was, they fouled him, and it created a great atmosphere. He thrived off of it. He said that it felt great afterwards to take the mound for the first time in that atmosphere. I didn't think he had his A-plus stuff. Now, 75% of Skubal is like 100% of other pitchers. His changeup was pretty good, but you saw his fastball got hit a couple times. If Tucker catches that ball and right, he probably continues on into the 7th inning. But Dave Roberts said afterwards he wants to pull back a little bit. They've got other guys that are injured. He's not going to push Skubal too hard. So those conversations with his new pitcher are ongoing because Skubal said he could have gone a bit deeper in the game. He was good. He just wasn't great.
It was clear. I mean, the Cubs had a plan. They were going to ambush the fastball early. They knew that he was going to establish that elevated fastball. That's when he goes to that changeup. He'll go to the breaking ball down in the zone. And Dansby Swanson did that in his first at bat. He got the elevated fastball first pitch and absolutely crushed it. You talked about this in the highlight. This was to tie the game. This was a massive moment. Tarik Skubal, first time giving up a run. Dansby Swanson hits that home run. But what I liked is the next at bat. He faces Dansby Swanson. First pitch. What does he do? He goes right back to the fastball. He said, dude, you got me the first time, but I'll tell you what, I can elevate and kick this up 2 more miles an hour and beat you. Then breaking ball down in the zone. Change the eye level. Skubal, to me, the mentality. Most pitchers, you'll see them start a hitter off that just crushed him on a fastball with anything but. Skubal went right back to his number one, and I absolutely love watching that mentality from Skubal.
All right, so his acquisition is obviously enormous, and people are worried the Dodgers are ruining baseball. In the meantime, they've lost 5 straight games, 7 out of 9, and Shohei Ohtani has not looked like Shohei Ohtani. Cindy, put up A14, if you will, please. Ohtani at the plate is on pace for 35 home runs after he hit 55 last year and 54 the year before. This would be his fewest in a season since 2022 when he was with the Angels. So I think a reasonable question about the best player we've ever seen, Jessica, is there some cause to be worried right now about Shohei Ohtani?
No, I mean, these are the numbers that you'll see go hand in hand with years that he's pitching a majority of the season. Now, he isn't pitching right now, but when you look at the last 2 seasons, I mean, he didn't pitch until the very back end. And then obviously the season before, he was just a hitter. That's when you see 50-plus home runs from Shohei Ohtani. But he has consistently showed throughout his career, if the dude's going to do something we've never seen before in the history of the sport, and that is pitch the way he has, and be able to be the leadoff batter for the Dodgers, you're not going to see 50 home runs plus. That's just something that he has not done. Now, he will be back on the mound, and he's going to continue to put up numbers in that top spot. But if we're going to expect him to be the hitter that he has been the last 2 seasons when he was pretty much primarily just a hitter, that's just unrealistic expectation because the dude's now pitching and hitting.
And then let's talk about the Cubs. On this day in 1992, Jesse Rogers, you and I were screening calls at a radio station for Mike Murphy, taking irate calls from irate Cubs fans. What are those Cubs fans calling up the radio stations and saying right now?
Complimenting their front office, which is something they didn't do a year ago at this time. Jed Hoyer really pushed a bunch of chips in the middle of the pot. Didn't get Tarik Skubal, but he got Clay Holmes, got Kevin Gausman. Both have a good reputation. They haven't made their debuts yet. They have to pitch well. The Cubs have been pretty much injury riddled on the pitching staff, so those additions make a difference. You got to figure out the back end a little bit. Their flame-throwing closer, Daniel Palencia, is returning from injury. But look, you can break glass in case of an emergency with Clay Holmes and stick him in the back end if you want. The Cubs play great defense. They run the bases well. And when they are hitting home runs, as they have the last 2 nights, Greeny, they're a complete team. They've got a shot to go far.
Dodgers, Cubs, Brewers, set it for a very interesting postseason in the National League. Jessica, Jesse, thank you. Outstanding work.